As you can see, my little one has decided to join me and be my little co-host, which is fine. It's named after her, so if she wants to join, she's more than welcome to. However, she has to be on my lap 24/7, and that keeps me from doing what I love to do, which is crocheting. So in this video, a little bit of what I want to do is I want to kind of talk a little bit more about me and how crochet has helped me and why it means so much to me. And one of the things that you need to know about me that I've already mentioned in some of my other videos is that I found out when I was about 40 that I told my doctor that I was tired all the time, fatigued. I fell asleep a lot when I couldn't focus. I had trouble remembering things. I know that I'm older, but come on, 40s. And he diagnosed me with ADHD, adult ADHD. Well, I've had ADHD my whole life. You get those report cards from the teacher saying that Connie was talking in class again, or Connie talks too much in class, or blah, blah, blah. And friends tell me your voice carries, which is a very nice way of saying you're being too loud. But you don't pick up on those social cues. It's called neurodivergent. I like divergent. Basically, there's a lot of things that ADHD cause that when I learned about it, and I just learned about, I really dug into it and learned about it in the past couple of years. So even when I was diagnosed with it, it really didn't mean much when I got put on medicine. But it has changed the way I approach everything, the way I basically function now, which is a good thing, because it's helped me to understand why people act the way they do or say the things they do sometimes that I didn't understand before. So one of the things is that people said I talked all the time. Yeah, I did. I didn't know why that was a problem, I guess, or maybe I didn't realize maybe I didn't realize that I was talking so much. I don't know. But when you tell a story, anyone who tries to tell a story that's ADHD, it's kind of like we feel you have to know every single detail. We've got to tell you from number 1 to number 100 when number 20 to 50 would have done better. But we don't feel that way. We've got to tell you everything. So we are long-winded. Another thing that we ADHDers do is we are loud, because I don't know why. I really don't know why, but yeah, my voice carries. Yeah, but that's not why people said I'm loud. I'm loud because I'm loud. I talk loudly. I don't think about when I get excited, my voice goes up and up and up, and I don't think to bring it back down. So that was a problem. Those are things I've worked on in the past couple of years, and I've really done a good job. I don't know that I'm perfect or great or anything, but it's better. And at least I recognize it and try to improve it or work on it. So I've got friends who are very helpful in that. I have a code word at work that if I'm getting too loud, one of my friends will send me a message on Teams that just one word, and just is, I don't know why, but we just said it's going to be keys. So whenever I see keys pop up, I'm like, oh, I'm being too loud. I got to lower that voice. But it's usually when I'm excited or talking about something that excites me. If you know someone in your life who has ADHD, some of the worst things that you can say to them is, well, you just need to try harder. Or, hey, you're really acting crazy today, or whatever. Or you need to find a way to do that better. Our brains aren't working like yours. For one thing, our mind is constantly going. Our brain is going through loops like over and over and over and over again. That's why I say sometimes that I'm a perfectionist. It's not just that I'm a perfectionist, it's that my brain's telling me it's not good enough, you got to do better. It's not good enough, you got to do better. Or I'll just think that nobody else will think it's as good as I do. So there's a lot of things like that. Else will think it's as good as I do. So there's a lot of things like that. Sometimes, some other things that I've noticed is like when driving. One of my friends told me, she goes, whenever I ride with you, it's like you've got road rage. And it's not road rage. What it is that I'm talking to the guy in front of me because I know he can't hear me, but my mind is talking to the guy in front of me, telling him, will you please hurry up? You're going too slow, or you're going too or you're doing whatever it is that they're doing wrong, but it's usually they're going too slow. Or I've often heard people refer to this, and I thought I was the only one that did it. I'm not. But people, like when you're at a stoplight and it turns from red to green, I'm ready to go. It's green. The guy in front of me is looking around, talking to people, whatever it is they're doing in their car, but they're not going as fast as I think they should. I mean, if it's green, go. And I will often say, make remarks like, it only turns one shade of green per day. Come on, let's go. Or, hey, the light's green. That means go. Let's go. Ridiculous. And if I do that with my hands and gestures like I just showed you, I can really upset somebody, probably get into, have them come over and try to hurt me or something. Thankfully, that's never happened yet and won't ever happen. But I do get over excitable that way. Also, when I'm walking, because we do a lot of walking at work. We have just to go from our desk or our office to the cafe or to the front doors. It's a long walk, and we have to go across the catwalk. Ooh, have someone go in front of me slow can send me into just, I don't even know what. It irritates me to no end. It's like, you've got to hurry up. And if they don't, I will, as nicely as I can, put my head down or look away and walk around them quickly to get up ahead of them, because I can't stand to go slow. And that is one of the symptoms that we have. Another thing that I had just realized that I've been doing since day one, and it's got to be irritating to people, but of course I never realized it, was that I interrupt all the time. But I'm not doing it to be rude or mean or not because I don't want to listen to you. Usually it means that you have told me enough information that I've already guessed what we're talking about. I figured it out, and now I want to tell you what I think about it, or want to relay to you how I understand it, or whatever it may be. And when you keep talking, my brain goes, oh, they're talking. You don't need to hear this. And we'll go on to something else, because like I said, it's continuously going and moving fast, and it goes through so many different things fast, and it's irritating when you're trying to sleep at night and you can't because your brain won't turn off. I don't have that problem now, and I'll explain why in a minute, but that's just something that we have to deal with. Now, so when someone's talking and they've gotten to the point where I know what we're discussing, I know what's going to be said, I understand where they're going with their conversation, and I interrupt them, I have to stop myself now and not. But at the same time, I've got to remember what I'm going to tell them, because I will forget if it's a scenario where I can understand and here's why, or if it's because you're talking about something that I'm clicking with, I'm getting with, and yeah, here's what else. If I don't say it right away, I'm going to forget it. And so when it's my turn, you pause and look at me and like, well, what do you think? I don't know, because it's taken so long. My mind has gone through so many different things that I can't even remember what I was going to say. And it's really bad. And I tell people all the time, well, I'm getting older, I'm forgetting. And that's not what it is, though. It's the ADHD. So a lot of that is there's just so many things that come with it that hopefully it'll help you to understand me better, or somebody in your family or one of your friends that has ADHD and they can't help it. They might not even recognize they're doing it. I just recognize it because I've seen so many things. It's really is becoming a big priority, it seems like, or a lot of videos on Instagram. And that's, I think, it was just, like I said, it was just a few years ago that I really started to understand that I'm not weird. I just think differently, and I'm not the only one out there. There's a lot of people out there, and it happens to a lot of people. So that helps out. Another thing is that we think, and it may even reflect in like test scores and stuff, that we're not as smart as everyone else. And that's simply not true. If anything, we've got a higher intelligence, but we're like, I got C's and B's and A's in school instead of getting all A's or all B's or all whatever. It was a multitude of different things. And that's because if I'm not interested, or if a person with ADHD, if it's not interesting to them, they're going to shut off after a few minutes, and they're not going to care to learn. Like history was not that big for me. I was just like, okay, whatever. It didn't really catch my attention. So when it came time where I had to study for a test, I couldn't. It was hard for me because I couldn't concentrate. Another one of the problems. And I couldn't focus. And that made it so that I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do something that I wanted to do. And one of the reasons that you can't focus when you're not interested is we have a lower volume deficiency, or whatever, a dopamine deficiency. The dopamine, the stuff that makes you feel good, the things that make you feel rewarded or happy or whatever. And so we're always striving for that next dopamine fix, I guess you could call it. And so in our daily lives, we're always striving for that. And you get into some people call it a freeze, where you will just sit there and think of like I'll sit here and think, okay, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to clean the dishes, or do the dishes in my laundry, and I got to clean the house. I have 101 things I want to do, and I will sit here and not do it. Think about how I want to do it, I got to get it done. It's because of that low dopamine and that you have from the ADHD that freezes you up. It's not that you're lazy. It's not that you don't want to do it, because you do want to do it. But you've got to have you got to get something to do that. Something, I don't even know what that's called, but something's got to, inside of you, and the brain's got to fix to make you want to even go and start doing it. So that is part of the ADHD. I kind of wanted to do that to then let you know how that has anything to do with crochet and why I believe crochet has been such a lifesaver for me. In crocheting, especially when you're doing these plushies, the great thing about it is you can make little ones. And why I have so many whips is because when you do little ones, you get it done and you got that dopamine rush. Ooh, I completed it. I'm so happy. Look how cute it is. And you get a dopamine rush, and you can go on to do whatever else you want to do. If I'm working on a project that's going to take longer than an hour or so, well, a few hours, then I will put it aside because I need some dopamine, and that's not making me happy anymore. I'm not interested in that anymore. So I'll do something else. And if I start a smaller project, which is the best thing to do, then I'll get that dopamine, and then I'll feel like doing something else. So I just wanted to kind of let you know partly that. Also, I looked it up because I was like, there's something between crocheting and being ADHD. There's something between crocheting and ADHD that just kind of work, I guess you could say. And it is proven. It is proven that crocheting helps those with ADHD because you get into a rhythm. You get into something that your hands are moving, and it stops, and your brain can do whatever it needs to do, but it kind of slows your brain down so you're not feeling so is the best way I can describe it. I can't even tell you what it's called, but just so much going on. Oh my goodness. And it helps you focus on one thing and focus well. And you get that dopamine that you've been waiting for all day when you're doing your crochet. I told somebody once before I knew I had ADHD that I didn't understand why, but whenever I was watching a movie or a series or anything, but usually movies, I couldn't just sit and watch a movie. I have to be playing solitaire. I used to play cards while I was watching TV. So I play solitaire while watching it. Now it's my tablet and a game on there. Now I can do crochet and watch movies because that rhythm or whatever I can get into. Yeah, I still count because I'm a counter. Some people can do it without counting, not me, because I will mess it up and either put in too many or too less. So that helps me to crochet, keep my hands moving while I watch a movie, and it's much better. So I didn't know that when I was playing cards or playing on my tablet and watching a movie, I didn't understand that. Why was I doing both? Why couldn't I just watch a movie? But I can't. I need to be doing something. And I guess that helps me to focus better. If someone, say I ask them, hey, you want to come over and listen to some music? And they're busy, they got something to do, and they're like, I can't. What about tomorrow? Or what about next week or whatever? What I hear is, no, I don't want to spend time with you, and I'm not coming to your house. Or, no, I don't want to come to your house. I don't want to be around that. We take it as a negative, as a rejection. when the person's only saying, I'm too busy right now. I've got a lot of stuff going on, but hey, how about another day? So if I text someone and they don't text back within I text back right away. So why aren't they texting me back right away? Again, thought, well, God, they just don't want to talk to me. Well, one of my friends who also has ADHD really kind of opened my eyes up. And what that is that she's one of those people that she will call you. She will discuss what she needs to discuss or what she wants to discuss. And then if we're just going to think about what we want to talk about, she's done. It's over. She's ready to go on to the next thing. And what she will say is, hey, I'll call you right back. Okay. So many times I was waiting for her to call me right back and she never called back. Or I'll text you right back. And I told her one day, I said, you always say you're going to call me right back, but you never do. She says, yeah, I don't know why I do that. I said, that's your way of getting off the call without hurting someone's feelings, I guess. But you hurt them more because then you're not contacting them back. And they're sitting there wondering why you're not contacting them back. So it's just funny how I can see hers or she can see mine, but it's hard for us to see our own. So I've learned a lot on how to not take a lot of things as negative, rejection, or what have you. But we also don't pick up on the normal cues like I do. I just figure people are sick of hearing me because when they, they're like looking around or not rolling their eyes, but kind of, looking around and stuff. It's a social cue. I'm done talking to you. Let's move on. And I do pick up on that now. I try to pick up on that now. I try not to interrupt. I try to do all these things when I'm around people so that I'm not so annoying. Okay? So they don't want to run away when they see me coming. So I get so excited about crochet that heck, I'll talk to anybody about it all the time and all the good things that are going on. Oh, all the wonderful. They don't care. I mean, I know they don't, but I have some people that are just so sweet that they will listen just because they're that sweet, that nice. So that's a little bit, maybe I'm hoping will help people to realize in my rambling, because I know I've rambled through it and I've jumped from one thing to another, which is what we do because we can't remember everything. But that's why I'm hoping that you'll understand maybe me a lot better, somebody in your family a lot better, and help them to understand it instead of saying, well, you need to do better, or you're not doing good enough, or you should try harder. We don't need to try harder. Let me tell you, we're trying really hard every day. Whatever it is that we're working on, we're trying really hard. So we're very creative. That's why this is what we do for crocheting is very good for us, because not only does it help us with our racing minds and things like that and the dopamine that we need, and it gives you a sense of accomplishment, makes you feel accomplished. But we're very creative and it's an outlet for that creativity. I just did my first pattern and it's out with testers right now. There are some problems with it. I knew there would be. I'm not happy with everything about it, but I got to let go of that because that's that perfectionist side of me. People tell me that it's cute and everything. I'm like, just take it at the value, what they're saying, believe them, and just shut up and move on. So I did. But there are things I'm going to have to fix. And then once I do, I'll put it on Etsy and I'll show it to all of you and everything. But for right now, I'm just holding on to it and hoping to get it out there soon. Now, that's one of the things I do creative. YouTube. I'm learning, people. I'm learning. I may not be interesting. I may not be everybody's cup of tea. That's okay. I say this in all, I don't know, it's not negative, but I don't care. What I mean by that is I don't wear makeup to work. And somebody once said something about, well, you look so nice when you wear makeup. Why don't you wear makeup? Because I don't care. When I go to work, I'm there to do my job and get paid for the job I do. I'm not there to impress anyone. I'm not there to look good. I'm not there to get compliments. I don't care. I'm there to do my job. And I also feel if you don't want to look at me, look someplace else. You don't have to look at me. My videos, you don't want to see me? You don't have to watch. Now, I want you to watch. I want everybody that can watch. I hope that I am going to be giving you enough information and enough content that it's worthwhile for you to listen in and for you to listen in and understand and learn something and it be entertained, because it's for entertainment purposes, right? So creativity is a big thing. So the YouTube videos, I hope I'm giving out good content, keeping you informed, teach you something new, make you feel like you're not the only one out there. I also do creative things such as I write books. I've written a couple books, but they're not, one of them's done, and I've showed it to a few people that read it and hated it. They hated it because it was that good. I'll just let you know, because I'm not going to put it out there. But it was a love story. It was a young love story, like at college age, and you have to write about what you know about. So I did, but I didn't. I'm going to have one of my main characters die off. I'm a Harry Potter fan. I'm kind of into all that kind of Divergent. I understand Divergent, the movie Divergent, so much more now. The Hunger Games, and when I get into even the vampire, what's the vampire one? Breaking Dawn. That's not what I'm thinking of, but Twilight, yeah. Twilight. I'm a fan of all those movies, and I always get so mad if a main character like Dobby, oh gosh, when a main character passes away, gets killed or dies, I'm just like, why did they even do that? Because they drew you in, and they made the story so powerful that you believed in it, or you liked them, or what have you. They did a good job. And they had to cause conflict, confusion, friction, whatever it may be. And in my story, that's what it needed. So at the very end, he passes away, and in a car accident. Since I'm never going to put it out there, I might as well tell you. And they had gotten married, and they're at a friend's wedding, and she walks down the aisle by herself because he passed away, and she's pregnant with their child that he didn't know about when he passed away. So I had a friend come up to me almost in tears, and she said, "I hate your book." And I said, "Why?" She said, "Because it's about a love story and you ended it with a death." I said, "Well, were you invested? Is that why it upset you?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "So I can write." And she goes, "Well, yeah." So yeah, I write books. I like stories, short stories and stuff like that. At work, I do videos where I do presentations, not videos, but presentations. And I do a good job, but they take me forever to do because I'm continuously adding or thinking of something good I can put in it. And so they are good, but it's not something I can do 24/7. I'd love to. And I told my boss I want to do training videos so that I could do the voiceovers and all that. But they switch things up, move things around, and now that's handled under another level even. So I probably won't ever get that chance. So I guess YouTube's my only way to do that. So I don't know if I'll be doing any other videos besides crocheting. But if I do, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. So all of that is to get everybody just a little bit more used to me, or to get to know me or somebody in your family. And I hope that it helps. I hope that it's been informative and helps to understand why crochet is so vital to me, and why I'm so ecstatic about it, and why I talk about it all the time. It's just because it means so much to me. It's because it helps me with my ADHD. It helps me express my creativity. And hey, I can make some money from it. I can actually support myself someday, I hope. I'm trying all the different things. And hopefully it'll become another income is what I'm hoping for. So that's what I'm working for. Extremely busy right now. I'm doing videos. I try to put out a video every Sunday. At one time, I was trying to do every Sunday and Wednesday. I am not going to promise that because I can't promise that Wednesday, but I can promise every Sunday. I'm also coming out with some videos on how to crochet, how to do granny squares, how to, because I have a friend who decided after watching some of my videos, she wants to learn to crochet. So I said, well, she wanted to know what, hey, I'm going to go out and buy what should I buy? Which kit should I buy? And I was like, no, 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 do not buy a kit. For one thing, they're expensive as all get out for what you get. I mean, if the Woobles, great, I guess. I don't think so, because it costs way too much money and you get a standard little square little item that that's why I don't like them, is because they have no character. They aren't anything but just a little squeeze thing. You've seen many crocheters that have taken the kit and tried to make something and realized the same thing. It's not all that great. So I told her not to spend that money on that. What I would do is, if she wanted, I could teach her how to crochet with some videos. And she wants to make granny squares, which I've said in press videos, I don't like to do them. A lot of people love granny squares. I don't like granny squares. And that's just because that's how I first learned. And I made hundreds of them and then never put them together. And it's just like I don't have them anymore, but I had piles of them, piles. Now I wish I would have saved them, because I could have made something with them, but it was just not good. Not good. And I don't like doing anything that I have to sew together, because then you have to worry about, weaving in all the ends. And everybody knows how, if you watch any videos, we don't like weaving in ends. So that's a lot about that. In fact, I used to crochet all the time. You get into fits where you get very into something, and that's another thing, is we get hyper fixated when we're doing crochet because of our ADHD, and it's like, oh, and you want to do it, and then you get burnt out on it. Some people call it losing their mojo. I call it ADHD. You just don't want to do it after a while. I will get into where I was coming home every afternoon after work and on weekends and crocheting blankets or Afghans. And I have a corner to corner that I really love. And that's how I made my, I call it I don't even know what it's called, but it uses greens and, I call it my hunting Afghan, or my hunter's Afghan, because it's the camouflage greens and browns and all that the yarn is. And when I do it into a blanket, it's really beautiful. I'll show it to you sometime. But I also do, I made up my own pattern. I'd never put it out there because at that time I didn't even know how to write up a pattern, let alone read one. And now I'm to the point now where I'm like, nobody would want to do it, because there's other videos out there. There's other patterns out there that are probably a lot easier than what mine was to make it. I just took some how to make a baby blanket from the Crochet Crowd, which is a very good place to go if you want to learn how to do anything. I'm going to tell you right now. Now I'm going to do some videos, but that's where I went to learn how to crochet different things and my Afghans and things like that. Anything other than granny squares. And that's where I learned the corner to corner, which is my all-time favorite. And I make my hunters, and I also make a rainbow that has all the colors of the rainbow in it, blanket that I love. But most everything else is corner to corner, because it's just so fast, easy, and pretty, really pretty. But my Afghan that I do for the voles is a checkerboard pattern, because in the end zone, it's a checkerboard. Before we go any further, I lived in Tennessee, Knoxville, Tennessee for 2 years. I love it. I miss it. I am a huge Tennessee fan. Huge. Football. I don't care. Win, lose, draw. I don't care. I love my Tennessee Vols. And I actually had somebody that came on and said, hey, do you make Tennessee things? I'm like, yeah, I do. And one of the things I make is my Afghan. And it's a checkerboard, orange and white. And I have the prettiest border to put around it. So I've got a lot of those because I was coming home every day and on weekends, and I was just crocheting the heck. And then for a couple months, I didn't want to do it anymore. I put it away and I do something else because I got sick of it. I don't want to do that with plushies because I can't really, because I'm going to go to markets. I got to sell it and all that. And I'm going to be on Etsy. I got to sell stuff. So I hope that I don't lose my Crojo. I have for the last few weeks. That's why I started YouTube, partly is because I was like, well, might as well do something different since I lost my Crojo, but I want it to be a business, so I got to do something, so I might as well do it that. What's funny is there are actually some people out there that I follow that are intimidated, or maybe not even intimidated, maybe they just irritated that me and other people, so many of us are coming out and starting at YouTubes now, once they've gotten, I mean, they've got enough, they're monetized, they've got enough of everything, they've got their videos out there all the time, they've got a nice little group. Why why can't I do it too? I don't understand those people, and I don't know, they're just, maybe that's just them. Maybe, and it's not a lot, don't get me wrong, it's just a couple that I've noticed that I've been like, okay, well, I don't need to subscribe to you anymore, do I? You don't need me, and you don't like me, you don't want me, you don't want anybody like me. That's fine. Like I said before, I don't care. I don't care. I let the feeling like letting the negativity hit me in a way that it was like being rejected. I let that go a long time ago. So I don't care. Don't watch me. But today, since I decided that I was going to do a little bit different kind of a video, but I'm not going to let you down. There's still some people that probably came not for the yakking about how I'm different or how my mind is different, but they actually wanted to come to see some plushies. So I've got some plushies to share with you that I still have or that I've made. Some of them I've sold everything and then remade them. Okay, so I'm going to push you back a little bit to make sure you can see what I'm bringing on. I got I got this cute little thing. I adore it. This has nothing to do with the ogres, the movie. Can't think of his name now. You know who I'm talking about. Everybody knows who the ogre movies is. But I just saw it, and it was the cutest little thing I ever saw. I had to make it. So I did. So I made a little ogre baby. Look at this little thing. She is so cute. I just love her. Her little horns, her little hair, little bow on top. She is just so precious. And she's so fat. I love it. I love it. And the thing I like about her also is she even got a little tushy in the back. There's a little bit of a tushy. Now, if you know me, you know I like big plushies. I don't like little yarn. I don't like little hooks. To me, it's just annoying. And basically, it's because the yarn just frays so easily. But I showed on another video that I used the petite Premier. No, not Premier. Sorry. Michael's Loops and Threads, I believe. It's the Premier yarn. It's thin yarn. So what I did was I thought, well, I've got to make her, and oh, I got another one. I made two at different times. And this one's a little bit different, and it's a boy. And I haven't got his hair in yet, so I got to do his hair. But the reason he's a boy is I realized when I was doing his head, I think I put in too many rows. So he kind of looks a little bit different than she does. So I'm going to make him the boy and her the girl. I'm not going to give him the bow. But I am going to get, he's a little bit bigger, it seems like. Maybe the same, but a little bit bigger. But that head, I didn't like that head. So I've got to make them both diapers because they are baby ogres. I'm also going to probably make, I got a pattern for, oh, your horn. Got to fix that horn. It's kind of lopsided. But the thing about the babies is that I'm going to make them a baby bottle because I found a crochet pattern where I can do that. I also have a pacifier that I use for a baby bull, but for these guys, I think I'm just going to make them a bottle. But you got to put them in diapers. So there's in the pattern, there's where you crochet the diapers, and it tells you, and it's single crochet. And Katie always says, why is it when she does crochet, like for diapers or whatever she makes, or a little blanket, it just seems to take forever. It does. It's because you're single crocheting across back and forth, and it gets really boring. And the boring part, Katie, I don't know if you believe me or not, but yeah, you do have ADHD because you act just like I do, or like I did. But I did realize that when I made them with the yarn that I like, had I made them in the size that they told me with the correct, if I would have used the correct hook, which I believe was a 2, I used a 4. And if I would have used the correct yarn, it probably would have been the right size. But now they're just humongous. So what I'm probably going to do is I've got two, you do 2 pieces and then you connect them at the crotch. And then you can make like buttons on the side if you want. I think I might use some Velcro because baby diapers don't have pins like they used to, or buttons. They have, and though this is, you know, not the plastic either, it is a homemade diaper. And I know there are diapers that you can rewash and that were made and that are not the plastic ones that you buy in the store, but I don't know. I think I might do that. I might put a button. I haven't decided yet. But to make it so that it fits better, I am going to do that. And then I might let one of the sides fall down so that when you pick up the doll and look, you'll see the butt. I don't know yet. I haven't made that decision. But when I did it, I did put these two together, and it just simply sewing them together, you know, through the holes, and then put that part on the inside. But that's still too big. So like I said, what I'll probably do is I'll probably bring it up a little bit and sew it so that I can make it shorter so it's not so long. And then maybe that'll fit and look nice on them. I don't want to have to do it again. It took forever. It took hours to do 2 diapers, four panels. So if that tells you anything. Now, I love Cozy Cub. I know now what everybody was talking about when they said that some of the Joanne yarns were bad, or they got bad, or they had a problem and they couldn't wait for it to be fixed. I came at the exact time that they were closing all the Joannes down, so I didn't have that problem or get to use those yarns to know what they were talking about. But the Cozy Cub that I got, that haul that I did a few days ago, or last week, there's a blue and a pink that are horrible to work with. They are hard to, I've got a really good hook, but it was hard to do, and you really had to put your wrist into it, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I like some of them that are softer and better to use. That was not one of them. So that being said, now another one of the patterns, this girl, she's brilliant. I mean, she's young and she's got the mind of a creator. Man, does she ever. And she makes this goose. A lot of people have already made it, but hey, I made it too, so I'm going to show it. And it just is so cute because my hairdresser doesn't understand it, because I put her on the shelf so that she was like looking over the shelf, because this is how she sits. And that's why you put her on the end so that she's looking over. And a lot of people are into geese. A lot of the old country decor and all that was, and it was always a blue ribbon. Now I did put a blue on one. I have used pink, yellow, some other colors too, but on this one I do have the blue. But the creator, she's the designer, she's just so smart, because you crochet this in such a way that she can sit on the shelf, look over the shelf, and not fall off like a lot of them would. I mean, because if it does quite a bit go over. And my beautician kept moving it to the side, so she was sitting on the shelf. I said, don't do that. That's not what it's meant to do. It's meant to sit like that. That's why it's like that. And so I don't know if she ever understood it or not, but that's okay. That's okay. But I love them. I think they're so cute, and they're not hard. They don't take a long time, but you can make them as big or as little as you wanted to, I'm sure, by using the right kind of hook and yarn. So, but I just love them. They're squishy. All of my plushies are squishy, and I love it if I can squish them and if they're soft. Don't like them when they're not. So that's that. During the right before the Oxford Fest, my wonderful, wonderful, wonderful market that I have told you about, I was doing some seasonal things. I'm not going to be big on seasonal things because I don't have Christmas sales or Halloween sales or anything like that. And if you don't sell them, you're holding on to them for another year, because no one's going to buy a Santa Claus or a snowman in June. So it's just not going to happen. But scarecrows are for Halloween, but they're also for scaring away crows, so fall. So it's not just a decoration for just one holiday. And the YouTubers I told you about was Rhonda Butler, and on her YouTube, I enjoyed it because even though she worked with cotton yarn and small hooks, which I don't like. She makes everything with that. I could still do what she did, only in the yarn I like, and in the crochet needle size that I crochet hook size that I wanted to use. I could still make what she did, and she made the cutest little boy and girl scarecrows. So I did too. I watched her video, and I'm sorry, but have you seen a cuter little scarecrow than this little guy? I love him. I love him. And he wasn't that hard to make, putting all these extras on. I found a better way. Now, the way I put him on wasn't all that great. I just slipped him through and let him hang. I found a much better way to do it, but that actually keeps him in. But I think he's so cute. And I crocheted, or didn't crochet. Well, kind of. I embroidered those eyes. So those are not sinker safety eyes. Those are actually just eyes. I put the little whites in, the little whites around, and I crocheted those in. So it'd be safe for a baby because, well, maybe not with the hair pulling out, but it'd be fine. Then I did the little hat she gave me, and I'm in love. This is one of my love. I love it so much. And I would make more, but I don't know that they'd sell. So it's kind of like, why make them if people aren't going to buy them? But I can only do it around the holidays. And I might just do it when it's not a holiday just because I want to. But I love this little guy. And that's one of the things she did. She does Michael Myers. She does Jason. I think she does Freddy. She does the Scream face, which I wanted to do, but now that I've had the market and nobody really wanted the holiday stuff, I'm kind of glad I didn't do. Everybody really loved my little chicken nuggets, and I put them in a little basket, a red basket with some checkerboard red and white paper, and everybody loved those. In fact, Shanna said, I wish I would have had a recorder up there. She said, we need to record that the next time. I said, why? She goes, because she said it would make a great clip. Because it was like, oh, look at the nuggets. Oh, those are cute. Oh my gosh, chicken nugget. Everybody went crazy for them. They just loved them so much. And I sold almost all of them. If not, I think I sold all but one. And I had like 12. And people just love those chicken nuggets. So it's like, yay, winner. I did have a pickle jar. I got the idea from Katie. I did put pickles in there. People did open up the jar and look, but nobody really wanted pickles that day, and that's fine. I'm still going to have a pickle jar, but I don't know if I'll ever sell them. But some things that sell other places just don't sell everywhere. Now, the first cub that I bought, yarn that I liked that I bought, it was so soft, so easy to use. I enjoyed it so much. And I found a little alligator pattern. I thought, that is the cutest little thing. I ended up making about 10 of them just because I was having so much fun. They were so quick and fast and easy. And I sold them for $8.50, and they all sold out. So when I got my Cozy Cub, my Cozy Cub green back, I made some more. And like I said, they're not huge. They're just little, and they're about $8.50, but it's something. Hey, moms, I know your kids want everything, and you don't want to have to buy something that's $30 to $50 because they're going to be happy with something that's cheaper. And so I do these for $8 or $8.50, and that's why. It's because they're easy enough to make. I'm not losing any money, thankfully, because I'm in it for the business, not just for fun. But it brings smiles. But it's easy to do. And they're cute little things. I just think they're so cute. Look at that little guy. He's just a little cutie patootie. Now, there is a bigger one, a different pattern for a bigger one. And I'm probably going to be making that next because I've been looking at that for a while. I'm trying to make things that I haven't made already. But then that's how I get like 5 or 6 things that I'm not making. So I do go to markets, but one thing that I've had is people asking for certain things. And I don't want to ever do anything that could even be construed as copyright, like with Disney. I know Disney's gone after crocheters, and there's been all kinds of stuff happen, and I don't want to do that. However, one of my neighbors, she showed me this video of her granddaughter, and they had gotten her a huge bluey. A huge bluey. I'm talking huge. That thing was like for at least 4 feet high, if not higher. She's just a little 2-year-old. And they walked in and she, Bluey! And just went crazy for it. And it was huge, but she wanted to buy her one that she could sleep with or play with or whatever. So I said, sure, I'll make it for you. And I ended up having enough yarn and enough time that I just went ahead and made another one. Now I'm not done because I still have to do the back and the spots on the back and the tail, but I did it. I did it. He's a cute little thing. Not hard. Not difficult. I shouldn't say not hard, but not difficult. But I guess that's a little bit, his mouth a little bit funky. But the pupils on the one that I gave her, I told her to choose between the two. She took the one that had a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger. So this is just a dog. It's not Bluey. It's just a dog that might maybe resemble him. I don't know. That's, it's a breed though. But that I'll probably end up selling at one of my markets, I guess. I'm not going to be making any more. I did not enjoy it. So if I don't enjoy it, I'm not going to keep making it. So that's one thing I did not enjoy. And one thing that when I first started, I made, and it almost sold. It was really high, like $90, but worth it. It's not overinflated. In fact, a lot of them, if you go on Etsy, they're in the hundreds for the same exact dragon. But a girl wanted to buy it so bad. She brought over her mom. And then when that didn't work, she brought over her grandma. I have not heard back from them, so I don't believe that I will be. So she's not getting her dragon, and I'm sorry. But this is Winnie the Dragon. Most every crocheter knows about Winnie the Dragon. Her designer has very detailed design, tells you exactly what to do and how to do it. I just think Winnie is beautiful, and she has that faux fur down the middle of her back. She has her wings that lay on her side, and she is a very long. You do her. You started her tail at the very end, and then I put some faux fur on the end of her tail as well. But you started that tail, and you work your way all the way up to about here. And she said, "Okay, you're about." A third of the way done. It does. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of, but I'm going to make another one of her because in a different color because she is one of my favorite dragons. I did make another dragon that was green that sold at my fair that I liked, and it sold. I believe I had 80 on it, and it sold. But Winnie, I still have. Might keep her. I don't know. I'll make some more Winnies because she is a beautiful dragon. But she will be, and I have, every time I show these, I won't remember. Sorry, I'm not good at that. But every single time I show a plushie, the designers, I will have it in the details, or in the description, so you can go to their sites and or their Etsy site, and you can purchase from them, and you know who the designer is. I have a lot of ideas for. I have a pattern series idea. I know what I'm going to do. It's going to be animals, yes, but it's going to be a certain, they're all going to be doing the same thing basically, but it's a little more complicated. So the designers are going to have to make sure they're willing to take it on. If I can learn it, anybody can learn it, but I think I might do a video to add to the instructions. I've had help when they put it into when they made videos for different things of patterns that I've used. It's helped to see the person actually doing it because I'm one of those people that if I see it, I can do it. I can learn it. So I probably will figure out how to add a video to my patterns so that people can click on there and go to the video and see how it's done. That's going to be a while because writing a pattern for me, at least, it's not an overnight thing. It takes a while. And for mine, I'm going to have to design them all from scratch. And then I have to do this little thing that'll make them all be doing the same thing. And yeah, so I've got a lot of big projects in mind, and I've got to start getting ready for my June, the Pride Fair. I will have more Pride items. So I'll probably do better at sales than I did the first time around when I really didn't know what I was doing or what to take or know how to make a lot of things. I said I was not going to show this, but I can't help myself because he's so cute. And you might not even know who he is. There's a designer that designs these large well, they're not. Okay, they're large Presley. And I'm doing it because I want something to bring people into my tent. And to do that, I'm going to put up a few of these little guys. I don't know if I'm going to sell them yet or not. It just kind of depends. But I'm going to put them there to draw in, attract people, customers to come to my tent when I'm at the markets. And this guy is so cute. And I'm going to show him because, again, this is somebody who uses acrylic yarn and a small hook. Connie, don't do that no more. I don't like that. So I am using, actually, I'm using even bigger than that thin yarn I was using. I'm using the Premier Chunky Neon because the other color is tangerine and it does not look orange enough for this particular little guy. He's a cat. He's fat and he eats a lot. And this is all I've got done of him yet. But I wanted to show him because he's so cute. But he resembles a little guy that eats lasagna. And he also, we have a president named President Garfield that he kind of resembles. But have got to do the rest of his body. But you see how big it is already. This is just the head and the body. I got to get the tail, the legs, his ears, and everything else. And he's little hands. You got to put them together. It takes a lot of work. It's not a market make. That's why I said I'll probably have it at the front of my tents just to draw people in, and for the right amount, yeah. But I don't know if they want to pay it because it's going to be big, and it's going to take a lot of work. And I only work a little bit at a time, so that because I have so much else I'm doing. But I wanted to show him because I had shown the yarn the other day, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And the reason also was so that I could let you know about the designer now, rather than waiting and making y'all wait, making her wait for hopeful sales. I'm telling you what, she has animals that how do I want to say this? Like she has a what is this? I don't even know what it's called. She has a captain that crunches that you can make. She has a I don't know how to say it without giving it away. She has a cheetah that likes to eat chips. She has you might even say it looks like Chester the cheetah. Looks like Captain Crunch. She has one that looks like Speedy Gonzales. She has one that looks like, oh, what is that guy's name? That big old chicken on the cartoons. A boy. I can hear him just like anything, and I cannot think of his name. But she's got a lot. She's got a lot, and I bought a lot of her patterns. I bought a lot of them. Pepe Le Pew, the skunk that's always after that black cat. I got him. I got the Tasmanian devil. So I've got a lot of them. I have high hopes. I have big dreams. I have a lot of work in front of me, but I do want to make as many as I can, just so I'll have something different to put up on different, like at one, either at different times of the market or just to take to different markets. Like I'll take these to this market. I'll take these two to this market. Whatever I think will bring in the crowds. That's what I'll do. I probably won't ever sell them. I don't care. I'll keep them. But I do want to make them just because it brings me happiness. Someone's waking up, so I guess it's about the time of my video to let you go. I think she worries about me because she comes up and she'll be laying next to me and she'll get on my lap. One, because she don't want me to do nothing, and two, she probably thinks I'm crazy talking to the air because there's nobody here to talk to, and I'm just yakking away to nothing as far as she's concerned. So I think this is where we will go. Someone probably needs to go potty. That she's woke up, and she's so God. She got a good long nap, so she's probably ready to go outside and run a little bit, maybe go for a ride, or God, I hope she didn't hear that. Go for a walk to go potty. I don't want to say the RIDE because then she wants to get in the CAR, and I don't want to. I'm a homebody. I want to stay at home. I don't even want to go outside, but I do for her. And the cats need to be fed too. So I guess I better go. I hope that I've left you with some inspiration or some information or just helped you to get through a project and listen to somebody drone on and on. I know some people like short videos and some like the longer ones. I'm trying to hit it in the middle, guys. I'm trying to hit in the middle. I would appreciate it greatly if you would please leave some messages, comments, let me know what you want to see. Am I giving you content that you want to see? Is there something that you want that I'm not giving you? What is it that you want to know? I had like one of my friends reached out and she said, I want to know how to crochet. I think I want to learn how to crochet, but I want to do the squares. So I put aside my desire not to ever do a square again, and I am going to do some videos. But I had to get this done and get this out to y'all, so I hope you enjoyed it. And like I say in all my videos, switch it. Switch it up. Whenever we are our worst enemies, we all do more negative self-talk than anything, and you need to turn it into positive self-talk. Be kind to yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. So whenever you're in a bad mood or you start saying, I can't do it, I know I can't, I'm not going to ever accomplish that, I'm never going to be anything, no one's going to ever notice me, I just can't ever do it, switch it. Switch it. You can. You are worth it. You can do it. If I can do what I'm doing and talking to a dang video when my dog thinks I'm losing my mind talking to the air, if I can do this, if I can do any of the hundreds of plushies I made that I didn't think I could make, I did my own pattern, for crying out loud. I didn't think I could ever do that. I did my own pattern, for crying out loud. Did you hear that? I did my own pattern. You can do it. You can do it. You just got to change that mindset. Switch it. Thank you. See y'all hopefully in the next video. And even this little one says bye-bye. She wants to go and get all of her mommy's attention. So bye-bye. See you later. Bye-bye. Say bye.